We're gonna start off with this stuff.
Cool.
All right, Khan, shalom, shalom. The water brothers and sisters for joining us. Shalom, family, shalom, Israel. We're going to go ahead and get it started. First and foremost, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Y'all see the title of the lesson, Thy sons and thy daughters shall prophesy. This is actually happening right now, so I want to go ahead and bring this prophecy out and just show how actually the women really is going to be hopefully uplifting women to get themselves more in order, because we're seeing more women starting to prophesy and do what's according to the scriptures in righteousness. They're doing things in order, decently and in order. Let me get that. Can I get that? 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and 40.
Shalom, soldier. Malachi.
Yeah, shalom, soldier. The water for joining us. Shalom.
Last time
Yeah, so check this scripture out, man, because some of these scriptures are so simple, but people seem to overlook them, and they seem to overlook them, man. They don't really they see it, they read it, they hear it, but it just goes right over their head for some reason. But we're gonna get it.
God, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 40. Let all things be done decently and in order.
Read it again.
Let all things be done decently and in order.
It says, let all things. We have to keep saying it because it just goes right over people's head. They hear it, they're like, yeah, okay, all things, right. Okay, go ahead. Let all things be done decently and in order. Everything should be done decently and in order, right? So that's what we're going to get into. We're going to show, Lord willing, again, hopefully it's going to edify the sisters to get themselves in order and encourage them to get themselves in order. So we're going to see how we're starting to see women prophesying, right? Prophesying these last days. Actually, it's actually going to be like a video that I'm going to show and bring out to where we seen a sister. She's actually prophesying. I don't even know if she knows it, but I seen this video on GMS. Was it South Carolina? 08 or 8, something like that. Salakia. A lot of brothers in the GMS do a beautiful job, man, and that brother does a beautiful job in edifying people. So I seen that video, and I wanted to. It inspired me to do this lesson, right? Thy sons and thy daughters shall prophesy. So we're gonna go ahead and get the scripture in the book of Joel, chapter 2. The book of Joel, chapter 2. Shalom Akim for joining in. Shalom Akawath for joining in. Shalom.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 26. This is Joel chapter 2, verse 26, and it says, "And ye shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and praise thy name, the name of the Lord your God, that hath dealt wondrously with you.
Mm-hmm.
And my people shall never be ashamed. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel."
This was going to happen. You're going to know that the Most High God is in the midst of Israel. Go ahead.
"And that I am the Lord your God, and none else.
Go ahead.
And my people shall never be ashamed.
Mm-hmm.
And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And your sons and your daughters shall prophesy."
Right. So a lot of people kind of like, I don't know the word. I don't want to say shun it. I don't want to say overlook it. You do see a lot of brothers that actually go into it and they show how women do prophesy. Lord willing, we actually be able to do that. We're going to go into some books to show how women do prophesy. Because like the first scripture we brought out, 1 Corinthians 14:40, let all things be done decently and in order. Everything that we do has to be done in order. Everything that we do has to be done in order in righteousness, in order in godliness. If it's not done in order in righteousness, it's not of the Most High. It is not of the Most High. You can't just do it based off of your own heart, your own feelings. That's when you start to go off. You got to do everything in righteousness, in order, right? In the righteous order. Okay. So it says, can you read verse 28 again for me, Baba Kushar?
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. Joel chapter 2, verse 28. "And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions."
So the sons and the daughters will be prophesying. You see the men out there prophesying on the street. Can you get Revelation chapter 19? Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. Verse 10. I think I'm going to start at 10. Revelation chapter 19, verse 10. So you see the sons out there prophesying in the streets. We're out there teaching, doing videos, doing lessons on YouTube, on Facebook, and by any means necessary. Like the book of Judah chapter 8 and verse 24 talks about, let us show ourselves an example, right? So you can actually be an example by just wearing fringes, just by wearing your head wrap, just by wearing your skirts, your dresses, and saying that you're an Israelite. You being an example is teaching, right? You are being an example by teaching in righteousness. That's a righteous behavior, right? And you are teaching by doing that. So go ahead.
This is Revelation chapter 19, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Revelation 19 and 10. "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is a spirit of prophecy."
Is what?
Is a spirit of prophecy.
So the testimony of Christ is a spirit of prophecy. So and Christ comes in the volume of the book. So this is what we do. This is what we're doing. And our daughters are doing the same thing. Likewise, right? They're doing things in order, and they're doing things in righteous order. They're not doing things out of their own heart. They're doing things in order. What did I want? Let's see. Like I said, we're going to go into some of these books. I don't know how long this lesson is going to be. Some brothers think it's going to be a long lesson. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But let's go ahead and get let's go ahead and get this Numbers 11 and 16 because I really like this one because to me, this is where it first started. To me, now we know in the book of Acts it talks about your sons and daughters shall prophesy, like it says in Joel. But I want to get Numbers 11 and 16, and you have read it in the NLT, right? I don't know if you want to. You don't have to get it, but you can.
Yeah.
But in the NLT, it says it, I think, a little bit better because sometimes you can get a little bit more understanding from the scriptures if you read it in the different translations sometimes. But to me, it sounds the same to me in the KJV, but let's do it for edification's sake.
This is Numbers.
Then we're going to go all the way down to 20. We're going to go all the way down to 28, I believe. Is Malachi still there? If Malachi, you still there? You can bring us.
Wow,
he's not there. Okay, come.
This is I believe it was the NIV. This is Numbers chapter 11, verse 15.
16.
16. Numbers 11, verse 16.
We're starting up at 16 to get the context, and then we're going to go ahead and read all the way down. Go ahead, though.
And the NIV, it says, the Lord said to Moses, bring me 70 of the Israel elders who are known to you as leaders and officials among the people. Have them come to the tent of meeting, that they may stand there with you. I will come down and speak with you there. I will take some of the power of the Spirit that is on you and put it on them. They will share the burden of the people with you so that you will not have to carry it alone.
Go ahead.
Verse 18, tell the people, consecrate yourselves in preparation for tomorrow when we will eat meal. The Lord heard you when you wailed. If only we had meat to eat. We were better off in Egypt.
Right.
Now the Lord...
So the people of Israel was complaining about feeling like they were better off in Egypt, right? So this is where Moses took the Spirit. So he wanted some of the Spirit to be taken off of him and placed onto the elders. Now, understand this. All things done in decently and in order, right? All things done decently and in order. I'm going to get this. Go ahead and hold what you got. This is Numbers chapter 27. Numbers chapter 27 and verse 16. It says, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. So the Most High God does everything decently and in order. Everything's done in order. Where everybody knows the divine order that's set in 1 Corinthians, what is it? 11? 1 Corinthians. We can get that. Let's get that 1 Corinthians. Let's get that divine order. And
Con 11:3.
Con 11:3.
This is 1 Corinthians 11:3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ,
right?
And the head of the woman is the man,
okay?
And the head of Christ is God.
Okay. So we see the Most High God, Yahweh Shai, man, and then woman. That is the divine order, right? In Numbers chapter 27 and 16, let the Lord, the God of the spirits of all flesh, set a man over the congregation. The man is the one that places things in order. The Most High God does everything in order. Now we're going to get into what a prophetess is and how a person is to become a prophetess. Everything has to be done in order. Everything has to be done in righteous order. You can't go outside of the order of the Most High God and think that you're going to succeed in righteousness, because you're not, right? So I'm going to keep stressing that throughout the video, throughout this lesson, everything done in righteousness. This is how our women are going to be prophesying. For some reason, we have a hard time with the ladies. We have a hard time with the men, but we have a hard time with the ladies too. And giving the understanding that you have to do it in order. You can't do it after your own heart. You got to do it in the order of the Most High God. So let's go back to what I had you hold.
Joel chapter 2.
No, Numbers 11.
Numbers 11, verse 18. It says,
actually, you can go ahead and jump down to 24.
This is Numbers chapter 11, verse 24 in the NIV. So Moses went out and told the people what the Lord had said. he brought together 70 of the elders.
So what Moses had said, he was supposed to take the elders of the tribes to bring them to the mountain so that the Most High God can take the spirit off of Moses or divide the spirit that was on Moses, right? Go ahead.
And had them stand around the tent. Then the Lord came down in the cloud and spoke with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he took some of the power of the spirit that was on him and put it on the 70 elders.
Right.
When the spirit rested on them, they prophesied.
Okay, so when the spirit rested upon the elders, they prophesied, right? So when the spirit rested upon the elders, they prophesied, right? Go ahead.
It says, and he took some of the power of the spirit that was on him and put it on the 70 elders.
Right.
When the spirit rested on them, they prophesied, but did not so again.
Right.
However, 2 men whose name was Eldad and Medad had remained in the camp. They were listed among the elders, but did not go out to the tent. Yet the spirit also rested on them, and they prophesied in the camp.
So there was 2 elder men that were in the camp that also prophesied. They didn't go with Moses, but they still got the power still rested upon them. The spirit still rested upon our God on them, and they prophesied as well. Go ahead.
It says, verse 27, a young man ran and told Moses, Eldad and Medad are prophesying in the camp.
All right.
Joshua, the son of Nun, who had been Moses' aide since youth, spoke up and said, Moses, my Lord, stop them. Verse 29, but Moses replied, are you jealous for my sake? I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets and that the Lord would
Write that again. I wish what?
I wish that all the Lord's people were prophets.
Go ahead.
And that the Lord will put his spirit on them.
So this is where I seen Joel 2:27. He says, I wish that, I'm gonna read it in the KJV. Would God that all the Lord's people would prophesy. Would God that all the Lord's people were prophets, so like it were prophets, and that the Lord would put his spirit upon them. Right? So can you get Joel 2 again? Joel 2 again in 27.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 27.
It's like 28.
This is Joel chapter 2, verse 28. It says, and it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy.
Right. So the sons and your daughters shall prophesy. So again, Moses, he said he wished, or it would, that the spirit of the Lord would be upon all his people. And this is Joel chapter, Joel prophesying in verse 28. So we're going to go ahead and get into the video. Actually, as a matter of fact, go ahead and bring that picture up while we're going into some of this.
All right.
While we're going to go into some of this. So go ahead and read the picture for me.
It says, what women think they'll do when the economy collapses versus what they will actually do.
Now we use this picture in what's our podcast? I've lost track of Iron Council, right? And SOJ Gatekeepers. So we used this picture once before, right? What women think they'll do when the economy collapses versus what they'll actually do. We don't want to see our women like this. We want to see our women not out there, not protected. They don't have no protection. We want to see our women protected and taken care of, man. This is why the prophets out there sighing and crying. We are sighing and crying because it breaks our heart, man. We don't want to see our women like this. You know what I'm saying? So we don't want to see our women caught out there in this destruction with no covering, with no protection, right? So women think that they're going to be out there like, what's her name? What's her name, old girl?
Oh, Katniss Everdeen.
Katniss Everdeen.
Katniss. Sorry.
Katniss?
No, Katniss.
Katniss Everdeen with the bow and arrow, taking people out, one shot, one kill, right? I ain't saying that women ain't going to have skills. I understand that. They're going to have that. But they're going to do it. They're going to do it even better when they're in righteous order. When they're in righteous order, right? They're going to have that spiritual protection. They're not going to be just trusting on their flesh, their own strength. As a matter of fact, I just brought up another precept. Let me get Jeremiah chapter 17, and I believe it's verse, let's see, Jeremiah 17 and I believe it's verse 10. Yeah, let's get that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 10. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 10. I, the Lord, search the heart.
Mm-hmm.
I try the reins, even to give every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
Right, Salakia. That wasn't what I wanted. Salakia. Let me get verse 5.
This is Jeremiah 17, verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm. Right? When you trust in man, you got to be trusting in the Most High God, and you got to understand that the Most High God does everything in order. Trust in him. Don't trust in your own flesh. Don't trust in your own power, your own strength, because it's not going to work. In the day of destruction and the day of calamity, when all hell breaks loose, when the power grid goes down, it ain't going to cut it. It ain't going to work, right? So he's only dealing with his order, and that's how you're going to get that spiritual protection, is by operating in his order. That's how the men and women before us did it. The things that were written aforetime was written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. This is the only way that we're going to have hope, doing it in the Most High God's way, right? In his order. So you see the picture, right? We don't want to be out there like that. We don't want to have in our thought that we're going to be taking care of business with the bows and the guns and the knives and the machete, and you got the headband on and you with the face paint on. That's not how we're going to do it. We ain't going to make it like that. You're going to get caught up and you're going to be out there looking like these sisters out there on the street, looking for a man, looking for protection, looking for somebody to feed them and guide them, right? So let's get that video, and then we're going to go into some more scriptures. Let's get that first video, Baba Kushai. Like I said, brothers from the GMS camp, or GMS South Carolina, I believe, South Carolina 08, I believe that's his YouTube channel. He did a beautiful job, and a couple of other brothers in GMS did it, and it inspired me to do this. So, but the point that I want to bring out is that you actually see our sisters actually prophesying, and they're doing it in righteous order, right? They're doing it how they're supposed to be doing it. So go ahead, whenever you got it. Shalom, Akim, shalom. Shalom, King.
What's going on, y'all? So I want to get on here right quick and just say this. This is for the women, and especially the women of Israel, because we're the ones that got the problem. We're the ones that got caught up in the whole stigma of not needing a man, not wanting a man. We can do everything by our daggone self. You had one bad apple out of the tree, and you took that and ran with it. Let me just let you know this. Every man is not the same. It's about to come a time real soon that taking your clothes off, twerking, is not gonna get you money, but it's gonna get you raped and it's gonna get you killed. Because these people that they got waiting to come take over in these cities for a reason is not gonna play with you, and nobody's gonna be there to help you. It's gonna come a time that you're gonna have to stop disrespecting your husband and disrespecting your man, especially the righteous one. Because you don't need them. Because what you gonna do? You can't get out there and fight against another man. It's gonna be thousands of them. You can't get out there and go look for no food when you need it. What you gonna do? Medicine, all types of stuff. But y'all sadly disrespecting the man. And guess what? The scriptures teach us that it's God first, the man, then the woman. We are not equal to men. We're not equal. Y'all need to face that up and realize that. And if you got a problem with me saying that, then you got a problem with the Most High. And that's something that you're going to be judged for. So don't come for me and don't get mad at me because I'm only saying facts. Y'all need to stop all this twerking, because it's going to come a day that twerking is not going to fill your stomach up. Lights going to be off, gas going to be off, you're going to be off the grid. What y'all going to do? No internet, no phone, none of that. What you gonna figure out? You're gonna be in the house along with kids, crying and begging and wish that you had a righteous man at that time, because that's the only man that the Most High is gonna care for and is gonna help and get him through these times. I'm just being authentic. I am being transparent, and I am being real. These are facts. This is prophecy. Y'all need to stop disrespecting men. Y'all need to stop talking about this frivolous stuff about money, clothes, cars. All that shit is about to be done away with. It's about to be done away with. It's gonna come a time where y'all ain't even gonna be worried about how many women a man got, because you're gonna be trying to hold on to that man because you're gonna need help. And that's real. And if you don't believe me, you better open up your Holy Bible, King James Version, if you ain't open it up one. And if you don't got one, you better go buy one. Because these words is about to disappear. And the word is going to disappear. And y'all going to be thirsty and hungry for it. And ain't nobody going to be talking about it because you ain't going to be able to find nobody with it. So you better wake up and get right and stop all this nonsense, because it ain't getting you nowhere but to death.
God, hey, she needed to say it just like that. She was spitting on brothers. She was spitting, man. Hey, brothers will see how she was getting in it. Mm-hmm. She was in it. Hey, she went out there and Jesus, and I love Jesus, and I love Jesus, and I'm married. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. She wasn't doing that. She was actually quoting scriptures. She said, I'm talking to the women. Now, we know the scriptures say that she would, she's supposed to be teaching the women. She's in order. She got her hair wrapped. She's talking about husbands. She said being obedient to your husband. She's talking. She's doing more than the Sunday pastor, man, than the Christian pastor, man. She's doing she did a great job, man, by prophesying. That is your daughter's prophesying right there in action. If you haven't seen prophecy, you just seen it. It just happened, man. You just seen it right there, right? Where your daughters shall be prophesying, man. She did it in righteousness. She did it in decently and in order. She did the right thing, right? She did what she was supposed to do. So we got to have our women in order. We're going to go into some of these getting some understanding over what a prophetess is, because we got a lot of people to say, oh, Deborah was a prophetess. She didn't have to do that. She just went out there and boom. That's not how she did it. She did everything decently and in order. We're going to get the understanding of prophetess and how everyone that was called a prophetess, or all the women that prophesied, they did it in order of the Most High God. Don't forget 1 Corinthians 14 and 40, all things done decently and in order. And also 1 Corinthians 11 and 3, that God, Yahushua, man, and then woman, right? So let's get some of these, read the book, and then we're going to read the definition.
This is Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
This is the definition of the word prophetess: a woman who exercised the prophetic gift in ancient Israel, mm-hmm, or the early Christian church. There are at least 4 women bearing this designation.
It says there are at least 4 women. Go ahead.
Bearing this destination in the Old Testament.
In the Old Testament, right?
Miriam, sister of Moses.
Right.
Exodus 15, verse 20.
Uh-huh.
It says Deborah, Judges 4 and 4.
Right.
Hilda, King chapter 22, verse 14.
Right.
The unnamed wife of Isaiah, who bore him children with the prophetic names. Isaiah chapter 8, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
In the New Testament, Philip the evangelist said to have had 4 unmarried daughters who prophesied.
So a total of 8 women. A total of 8 women prophesied in the scriptures. That's what this is saying. A total of 8 women prophesied. So we're going to get it. Don't lose that place. We're going to go ahead and go back there, because there's a part that I want to get. Can you get helper?
Oh.
Actually, no. Let's go ahead and go to Salakia, Miriam, because Miriam was said that she was a prophetess. That was the first woman mentioned as a prophetess, right? And if you want to fix that, you can go ahead and close it.
This is Who's Who in the Bible.
Can you show the people that book? Who's Who, right? You can get that at Barnes & Noble or Mardell's, right?
It says Miriam. Miriam was the sister of Moses and Aaron, the daughter of Amram, Numbers chapter 26, verse 59.
Uh-huh.
She was a prophetess and eventually became a leader in Israel.
She became eventually a leader in Israel. Go ahead.
Although unnamed, she is the first encountered when she helped protect Moses from the massacre of infant boys by the Egyptians.
Right.
So she watched over the infant Moses whilst he was hidden in a papyrus basket among the reed at the side of the Nile, and ran to get her mother, Jochebed, to nurse the child for Pharaoh's daughter. She is first named when seen leading the woman of Israel with a tambourine, dancing and singing
Tambourine.
dancing and singing praises to the Lord for the escape of the Israelites from Egypt.
So that's what she was. That was her ministry, singing and dancing for the Lord, singing praises for the Lord. That's how she was a leader, singing and dancing praises for the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
The fact that she is called a prophetess may indicate that she composed part of the song of praise found in Exodus 15.
Mm-hmm.
Her prophetic gifts are probably referred to again in Numbers 12:1-4, where together with her brother Aaron, she questioned Moses over his behavior in marrying a Cushite wife.
Yeah, Cushite wife. So you saw that she questioned Moses about his wife. So we see here that she has both of her brothers over her. Both of her brothers were over her, Moses and Aaron. Moses and Aaron, all things done decently and in order. So Miriam had what you would call heads, or someone that overlooked her or protected her, or overseer, right? She had someone that helped look over her, look after her, right? That protected her spiritually. That was Moses and that was Aaron. And of course, Moses did all of Israel and Aaron did also. But you see that was mentioned was Aaron and Moses, and they were the ones that was protecting her. So this is the common theme that you're going to see with prophetess, that they always had a head. They always had a husband. They always had a father. They always had an elder that was over them. They never did anything outside of order. We're going to get into Deborah too. But let's get, what you got?
Deborah.
Let's go ahead and get that.
This is Deborah. Deborah, a prophetess and wife of Lapidoth.
She was a what?
A prophetess and wife.
She was a prophetess and a wife. She was a wife. She was a wife. She had a hedge of protection. She had a husband. She had a head, right? Go ahead.
Of Lapidoth, became a leader of, it says, Deborah, a prophetess and a wife of Lapidoth, became a leader of Israel in the days of the judges.
Uh-huh.
She is the only female leader to be mentioned from those days. She acted as a judge, holding court under the Psalm of Deborah between Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim. And the Israelites came to her to have their disputes decided.
Right. So Deborah has a husband, and then she had to act according to her husband, meaning getting the okay from her husband. She could not just go like she could, even though she had a husband, she couldn't just go off. I got a husband. I'm about to go teach. I'm about to go do whatever I want to. Now I got the order. I got a husband over me, right? I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. Husband, you sit down, and I'm gonna go out there and teach. That's not how it went down. Our women didn't do that. Our women done everything decently, for the most part. Righteous women. Our righteous white women did everything decently and in order, man. Right? Is there more?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
In her role as a prophet, she called upon Barak from Naphtali and informed him that God wanted him to attack and defeat Sisera.
Right. So she had a very major part in helping the nation of Israel. But the only way that she could do that was by going under the order of the Most High God. There's power in order. There's power in righteous order. If you are outside of the righteous order, you are outside of the power. That's as good as it gets. If you are outside of the Most High God's order, you're outside of His power. You don't have no power, right? Who else did we mention? Huldah, right? Before you get her, let me go back to the no. Let's go ahead and get that. Huldah.
This is Huldah.
Mm-hmm.
When King Josiah discovered the lost book of the law, his advisors sought help in understanding the books from Huldah.
So read that one more time.
When King Josiah discovered the lost book of the law, his advisors sought help in understanding the books from Huldah.
So when they discovered the books of the law, they sought for help for Hilda, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go back to that definition of prophetess. No, let me go to the definition of helper, Salaki, because right there, yeah. So let me get this while you're getting that, because what we're seeing, it says that she was a help. She was a help, right? This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 28. 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 28. It says, and God has set in the church first apostles, secondly prophets, thirdly teachers, after that miracles, then gifts of healing, helps, governments, diversities of tongue. What you have here, something that's overlooked a lot, helps. Help. And a lot of us are helps in different levels were a help. So Hilda was a help to those men. Now let's get that in the definition of Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
It says helps, one of the gifts of the Spirit.
Helps is one of the gifts of the Spirit, what we just read. Go ahead.
Probably the ability to perform helpful works in
The ability to what?
perform helpful works
Okay.
in gracious manner.
That's exactly what she did. She performed helpful works in gracious manner, man. She performed helpful works in gracious manner. So let's go back to Hilda again.
This is Hilda. When King Josiah discovered the lost book of the law,
So when he discovered the lost book of the law, go ahead.
his advisors sought help in understanding the books from Huldah.
They sought out help from Hilda, right? Go ahead.
A prophetess and the wife of Shalom.
And what?
And the wife of Shalom.
And she was a wife. She was a wife. She was in order. She wasn't outside of God's order. She didn't have her own thing. She wasn't just by herself. Our women gonna get themselves in order, man. They're gonna get themselves in righteous order. They're gonna get themselves right back with the Most High God, and that's getting in order, man. They're not gonna start going out because, hey, our women want to get into the kingdom of heaven too, and this is what we are here doing by teaching our family, teaching our community how to get right with the Most High God. And we're seeing in scriptures and in these books how our righteous women got themselves in order according to the Most High God. They didn't do it after their own hearts. They wasn't independent women. This is all about getting ourselves back in order, back in righteous order, right? But she had a husband, right? So we're going to go back into
There's a definition of help me too.
We're going to hold off on that. I don't even know if I want that. But let me get the definition again of prophetess, because this is the one I want.
Prophetess.
I want to get that middle part after Hilda.
It says, Hilda, the unnamed wife of Isaiah, who bore him children with prophetic names.
So there was an unnamed. So like, read it again. Unnamed.
It says the unnamed wife of Hilda. Yeah, Hilda, the unnamed wife of Isaiah, who bore him children with prophetic names.
So I think you might be misreading that a little bit. But there was because it says unnamed, so she didn't have a name. Yeah. So Hilda was, we already read that.
Oh, number 4. It says right. Number 4.
So number 4 was unnamed. Go ahead and read it again. Let's go ahead.
Number 4, the unnamed wife of Isaiah.
The unnamed wife of Isaiah. So she's not named, but she was a wife of Isaiah. So she too had a head. She had a head. She had a covering, right? And that was Isaiah's wife. Can you finish that off?
Who bore him children with the prophetic names.
Right. So she bore him children with prophetic names. So she was also in order. She also had a husband. Like this is same. It's a common theme. Everybody's in order with the Most High God. What else we got?
In the New Testament, Philip the evangelist is said to have had 4 unmarried daughters who prophesied.
So we're gonna go ahead and get that account in the book of Acts chapter 16. Oh. I think that's what I want. No. Acts 21. Yeah. We're gonna get that Acts 16 too, because I want y'all to see too. There's something I want y'all to see too.
This is Acts chapter 21, verse 16. It says, Oh, sorry. Acts chapter 21, verse 8. And it says, and the next day, we that were of Paul's company departed and came unto Caesarea, and we entered into the house of Philip the evangelist.
So Philip the evangelist, go ahead.
Which was one of the 7, and abode with him.
Right.
And the same man had 4 daughters.
That same man had 4 daughters, right?
Virgins who did prophesy.
Did prophesy. There were daughters, virgins, daughters and virgins that did prophesy. Right? They didn't go off into some other doctrine. They didn't go off to some other belief. They were of marital age, and they did not go off into some other type of form of belief system. They stayed right with their father, being in the order of the Most High God. So he had daughters, 4 daughters that lived with them that also prophesied, right? Let's go. So mentioning, I want to go back. You don't have to go back into the video, but just talking about the video. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Isaiah chapter 32 and verse 9. Can I see that? Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9.
Uh-huh.
Isaiah chapter 32, verse 9.
Right.
Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
You said what?
Rise up, ye women that are at ease.
The Bible's telling us to rise, the women to rise up, those that are at ease. We're supposed to be shaking this comfortability that we have here in America off, because there's going to come a time and day. There's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to have all of your stiletto heels and the purses and your wardrobe and the gowns. You're not going to have all that. You're not going to have the necessities of this country no more. You're not going to have that. So you gotta shake that off. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." Right? Go ahead.
Hear my voice, ye careless daughters.
What did the Bible call them?
Ye careless daughters.
It said, "Ye careless daughters." You are careless, man. You think that this country got you? You think you got it made? You got your food stamps. You got your jobs, and you got the government helping you in all kinds of situations and all kinds of ways, and you think that you have it made, man. It said you careless. You are careless daughters, and this is what the Most High God don't want. So he's got to use this type of language to wake y'all up. It says, "Rise up, you careless daughters." Go ahead.
Give ear unto my speech.
Uh-huh.
Many days and years shall ye be troubled.
Many days and years shall you be troubled.
Ye careless women.
It says it again. You careless women. Come on.
For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease.
It said what?
Tremble, ye women that are at ease.
It says that you need to be trembling, because it's going to come a time. The men already know. We barely going to make it. We barely going to make it. Y'all think y'all got it comfortable. You think you got it made. All I need to do is do this. No, it says to tremble. A lot of the men, the righteous men, are trembling. They're trembling right along with y'all, man. Right? Then y'all need to be trembling too. Y'all think y'all got it easy, man, because it's not. This is going to be a bumpy ride. I'll say it like that. It's going to be a bumpy ride. We all need to keep our faith in the Most High God and not trusting in ourselves, right? Go ahead and finish that out. Verse 11.
Be troubled, ye careless ones.
Uh-huh.
Strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins.
Right. You're supposed to strip yourself and make you bare from this society. It says in Revelations, roughly paraphrasing, it says to leave this. I can't remember what it says. It say you're supposed to leave off from this society, basically. It says, dang, what am I thinking of?
Leave off the omen.
No,
omen.
no. Dang, it escaped me. But you're supposed to, leave off from the sins of America, right? Because you don't want to get the same judgment that America has, right? And how do we leave off from the sins? How do we leave off from America? How do we escape America? By coming back to the words of God and putting on this righteous garment, putting on these this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's how we're going to get out of this place, right? That's how we're going to be seen, because we got to stand in order with the Most High God and His Son, right? If we're standing in order with the rest of this world, guess what you're going to get? Guess what judgment you're going to get? you're gonna get the judgment of this world instead of the righteous judgment of the Most High God, right? Because that's what we all aiming for. Did you have a precept?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
This might be it. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying,
that's it. Mm-hmm.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
It says what?
Come out of her, my people,
Okay.
that ye be not partakers of her sins.
Come out of her, my people, that you may be not partakers of her sins. Right? Was that it?
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
So that you don't receive any of the plagues that's coming to America. Right? It's telling you how to not receive the plagues that's coming to America. Right? To come out of her. To not be partakers of her. It don't mean you can't go to the grocery store. It don't mean you can't go wear the clothes at Walmart or Target or wherever else you want to go. It don't mean that. It mean that you shouldn't partake in the same type of events that they got going on. That's why you see our people getting shot in the grocery stores on the Sabbath day. Right? They are receiving the plagues of this country because they're not following the laws of the Most High God. I hope that makes sense. It should be very clear and easy to understand. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 31 and verse 22, Baba Kasha.
This is Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 22. And it says, how long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter?
Mm-hmm.
For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
And that's exactly what she was talking about in that video, right? You gotta stop trying to get over or manipulate your husband. Get right with your husband by getting right with the scriptures. Stop trying to get over on him, man. That's not how we're gonna get out of this country. We need a strong fear of the Lord to come upon our people, right? When they say the spirit of the Lord is gonna come upon all flesh, that's righteousness, and that's you see the spirit in Sirach, where the spirit will come upon a man or upon the animals, the beasts of the field. It said all flesh, right? It's going to come upon everyone, man. But the righteous spirit is going to come upon those that are trying to keep the laws of the Most High God, those that are striving to, man, right? So it says, how long will ye go about, O backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And this is what our women have done. Now, the roles are going to be reversed soon. So like Zion was saying earlier, you're going to see a power, what'd you say? You're going to see a power shift.
Energy shift.
You're going to see an energy shift. You're going to see that. It's going to happen. It's going to start looking strange, but that strangeness is going to be righteousness. That's going to be right side up again, right?
Second video.
Let's get Second Ezra right here. Let me get this, Second Ezra 16. And you can start at, what verse is that right there?
Oh, 27.
27. Okay.
Second Ezra 16, chapter 16, verse 27 in the GNT.
Uh-huh.
And a person will long to see the face of another human.
Right. So we brought this out in the bars lesson, the light when the lights go out. Right. Beautiful lesson. Beautiful, powerful lesson, man. Beautiful lesson. Read that for me again.
This is Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 27.
And this is in the GNT.
And a person will long to see the face of another human.
A person will long to see the face of another human. I wish I had that video, man. There was a movie. I like showing videos, as y'all see. I got more videos coming, but there was a movie that was, I can't remember the name of the movie, but I do remember the scene where they was just walking for days, man, and they wasn't seeing nobody. I'm just like, dang, this is miserable. But the Bible prophesies that. Right? Read that for me one more time.
And a person will long to see the face of another human being.
Right.
Or even to hear another person's voice.
Even hear another person's voice. This person is alone. This person is by himself. Right? Go ahead.
Only 10 will be left out of a whole city.
Go ahead.
And in the countryside, only 2
uh-huh.
who have hidden in the forest or in the caves.
Mm-hmm.
When an olive grove.
Hey, so that is important. I know we went over this in the when the lights go out, Captain DeBar's video, but I keep wanting to stress this because we really do care, and this is why we do these lessons, because we want y'all to be saved and hid in those days. Read that part again.
Only 10 will be left out of a whole city.
Go ahead.
And in the countryside, only 2.
Uh-huh. This is the point.
Who have hidden in the forest or in the caves.
Who have hidden in the forest or in the caves. Go ahead.
When an olive grove is harvested, three
So
are
Salakia. So this is what our forefathers and foremothers always did, which is hide in the forest, caves. They always went into the wilderness to hide. This is what you'll see quite often whenever we were trying to escape persecution or some type of like not plague, but just having the other military try to trample down on us when they was trying to overpower us. We always fled away in the fields, and in the wilderness, right, in caves. So go ahead.
It says, who have hidden in forests or in caves.
Mm-hmm.
When an olive grove is harvested, 3 or 4 olives may be left on each tree.
Mm-hmm.
When grapes in the vineyard are picked, a few bunches may be left even by those who look carefully.
All right. So it's gonna be food's gonna be scarce. It's gonna be slim pickings out there, right? You got to stay entrusted in the Lord and believe that the Most High God got you. You got to increase your faith. Pray in these last days that your faith increases. Go ahead.
That is how it will be in those days. 3 or 4 will be missed by the soldiers who search through the houses to kill everyone.
It says 3 or 4 will be missed by soldiers, right? So you got to stay prayed up, man. There's a lot of people that's in the truth that don't pray. I don't get that. This is your power. That's your power. That's your strength. Praying that your faith increase. Pray that you, the Most High God has mercy on you. If you don't repent, how can you even repent? You're supposed to be repenting daily. What's going on? We got a lot of people in this truth that's not praying, man. That's why a lot of people fall out. These simple videos are so important, man. These are some simple, very important videos. These are the ones that's going to help keep you and strengthen you, right? A lot of people, the deep breakdowns are very good. I'm not knocking those at all. But don't neglect the simple ones, because those are the ones that's really going to get you there. Those are the ones that's going to have that full effect. These deep breakdowns, those are just to occupy your time, that you have understanding on what's coming on, what's going ready to happen. But don't neglect those simple ones. Go ahead.
It says, the land will be left empty.
Mm-hmm.
The fields will be overgrown with berries. The roads and the paths will be covered with weeds and thorns, because there will be no sheep to graze along them.
Right.
Young women will be in mourning.
You say what?
Young women will be in mourning.
We're warning you, man. You're seeing the women prophesying, man. You're seeing the women prophesy. You see the men have been prophesying, right? It says, say that one more, read that one more time.
Young women will be mourning.
Well, young women will be mourning. Go ahead.
Because there is no one to marry them.
Uh-huh.
Wives will be in mourning because they have lost their husbands.
Because they lost their husbands. Come on.
Daughters will be in mourning because there is no one to help them.
There's no protection. There's no protection. They don't have anyone to help them. The scriptures talk about the women shall be ravished. It's gonna be bad things, man. It's gonna be a lot of. I don't want to overwhelm y'all with videos either. So we did have to limit some of them. I don't even know if it's probably. I don't know if it's even probably good to actually play some of them, because I don't want us to get banned or cut off from YouTube, because I don't know. Educational purposes only, I guess we could say that. We could have a big banner to let people know it's educational purposes only. But we have some videos of Hurricane Katrina, them telling us. I'll just explain it. How they heard rapes and people being raped. One woman, she got raped right in front of her daughter. I don't know how old the daughter was. You remember how old the daughter was? She was young. She was like a little baby. Like 2 years old. And the daughter was the 2-year-old daughter was holding her hand. Like that's the type of reality that's gonna hit, man. It hit before, it's gonna hit again. That was a reality for
we should say grape, because that could be copyright. Yeah, grape. That's what they say. Okay,
Slakia. That's what I meant. Right. So for educational purposes only. But that was a reality, man. She never thought that would happen to her. Man, ain't no way. She didn't have no husband, right? And it usually happens to the people that really know you. And it happened. She found out that it was married men that was her neighbors that she believes that did it. She recognized the voices. Bro, it was crazy, man. That was some crazy stuff, man. We doing these things so that y'all can be protected in these days, man, in the last days. So what else you got?
All the young men will be killed in the war, and all the married men will die in the famine.
Is that it? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to what we got. Let's see what we got.
The next video.
God, let me see what the week. Yeah. So So yeah, go ahead and play that. A lot of y'all might have seen these videos, but we're gonna go ahead and play them anyway, just in case you haven't. So we see these sisters unprotected out here, with no protection, man. So go ahead and play it whenever you got it. Right. So it might have been a little bit different if they had their husbands with them. You know what I'm saying? If they wasn't stripping. You know what I'm saying? So there was a lot of unrighteousness right there.
Fair use. Yep, fair use.
Fair use. Kind the water. So there was a lot of unrighteousness there. So we see sisters getting robbed at gunpoint. You know what I'm saying? Out there at the night, thinking that they got it, thinking that they safe because this country is safe. You know, that's what they led to believe. Because they wouldn't believe it that wouldn't have happened if they didn't believe it. They wouldn't have been out there at night with no protection, no husband, no man to guard them, no bodyguards, no nothing like that, if they thought that this country was safe. If they thought there was some harm, they would have had something with them. Did you have something?
Yeah, by the way, that was easy. That was easy for them to just go and just.
Yeah, it was easy.
Easy. That was not even hard for them. They just gunned there. Mm-hmm. And so how much more when they want to take you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How hard is it going to go when you know what I'm saying, you have a band of men trying to go get you, and the times where the cliques of gangsters that will be roaming, how harder then is it going to be to fight them off? So, you know, if they had a man there, they would have to try to take him out first. They would, if there was a man there, they would both have went to him first,
right?
Not the women.
Hey, that would at least gave them time to run away. At least. Oh, you know what I said I was going to do? I was going to go into Dinah. You remember that lesson I did with Dinah?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to see if I can pull it up. But let me get that one.
Third video?
Yeah, let me get that, brother Krishan. Got to show y'all, man. We got to show y'all these videos. We got to show y'all these scriptures to show y'all what time we in. We're seeing these things happen. We're seeing our women, our daughters prophesying, our sisters prophesying in righteousness. They're not doing it after their own hearts, after the lust after their own hearts. They ain't trying to be big or puffed up or can you go, what's the other video like that? I know I said I want to tell them.
That's
all right, Khan, Salakia. So, Salakia. We're going to go into, I want to read this while he's looking for that. All right, so this is Ecclesiasticus, Sirach, chapter 36 and verse 24. It says, he that getteth a wife getteth a possession, a help like unto himself, a pillar of rest. This is the point. Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. I'm going to read it again. Where no hedge is, the possession is spoiled. Right? So where there's no protection, that's where they get spoils of war. Right? They kill the men and they make the women spoils of war. Right? They just go in and just free game. You see videos or cartoons or animation or animes or movies where they're just running in there pillaging, and because it's just full of women, they laughing, giggling. Like you said, it was easy for them to do that, right? It was nothing. and some of those accounts, we're not gonna get those accounts. But man, hey, whew, hey, y'all gotta check it out. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta do some research whenever the power grid fails. What happens to women? Look at those videos, man. Look at the testimonies of the women that when the city is broken down and there's single women. This country has done a job on us, man. We got to get ourselves back together. We got to get ourselves right before the degree bring forth, before the time of the destruction comes, man. So, hey, it's a blessing, y'all brothers and sisters are listening in, so y'all can get yourselves prepared, get that fear of the Lord built up in you, start wanting to be more in order, start wanting to find protection and shelter from the wind, right? Because that's what a man is. Let me get that. What is that? What scripture is that? Let me get it. I got it right here. Isaiah 32:2. Isaiah 32:2. It says, "A man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest." So a man is going to be a hiding place from them. He's going to be that protection. He's going to be that shelter. He's going to be what's going to help our women out. So you need to get with a righteous man. We ain't telling you just to get with any old man. That's not what we're saying. We telling y'all to get with someone that is of the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a big difference between a man. As a matter of fact, are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let me get Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
Let me get that, Bob Kishar. There's a big difference between a righteous man and an unrighteous man. There's a big difference between a man that's striving to keep these law, statutes, commandments, these feast days, that's trying to do right by the Most High God, that's repenting daily, that's trying to build his fear up in his faith, and a man that's not, a man that doesn't care at all. Big difference, man. Big difference.
This is Zechariah chapter 8, verse 23.
Go ahead.
"Thus saith the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew,
Right?
saying, We will go with you, for we heard that God is with you."
They heard what?
That God is with you.
They heard that God is with us, man. No matter how foolish we look, no matter if we look like Power Rangers out on the street, no matter if we ain't got no lineups, no matter what we look like, we are doing all this for the love of the Most High God, for the protection of the Father. That's what we're doing this for, right? So, I want to say, to hell with what we look like, man. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to get that protection. You should be worried about your safety, right? So ultimately we're seeing these women prophesying, and they're being built up in the fear of the Lord, which is beautiful. That's first and foremost. You want to get that fear built up so that you can be in order, man. And that order is not doing what you want to do, right? Did you have something? Okay, did you have the video?
Yeah.
All right, Con, because I want to, we're going to go ahead and play the video, and then I'm going to go ahead and get into this diner. Because that's a good one.
I think men are better than women.
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our masters.
April, stop it.
Leslie, you'll never land a bow with that domineering tone.
All right, we on mute. We off of mute.
I think men are
So
better
can
than
you read
women.
that for me?
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our.
So like, read what?
Just read that. What was being said on there?
Oh, it says, when they start trying to draft women in World War III, all feminism go out the window.
All feminism go out the window. Hey, everybody's gonna be afraid, man. Even the men gonna be afraid, but women gonna start getting themselves in order, man. The alphabet, LG, you know what I'm saying? They gonna start getting themselves in order. Like, wait. I ain't a man, you know what I'm saying? I might look like one, but I'm not a man. There was a female that did a joke on that one. She was I don't even know how to call him. What did brother say? How did he say? He said this is for what use? Something use, fair use only. Fair use only, man. I still don't even think I can say it, so I'm not gonna say it because you got to be picky. you gotta be careful what we say around here. But hey, those women, she did a joke and she was like, you know, I'm not trying to fight no man. I might look like one, but I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? So women gonna start changing, man. They're gonna start trying to get their right. They're gonna start trying to get themselves in order. That power, that scale, the tables are gonna turn, man. Things are gonna be turned right side up again, right? To say the least. Let's get Genesis 34, and we're gonna start at verse 1. Genesis 34 and verse 1. And I want to get the Christian commentary on this too, because I think he does a pretty good job.
This is Genesis chapter 34, verse 1. Genesis chapter 34, verse 1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah.
So everybody knows the story of Dinah, right? And what happened. Well, you should know, but if you don't, we're going to go ahead and get into it. Go ahead.
And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land.
She did what?
Went out to see the daughters of the land.
She went out to see the daughters of the land. Go ahead.
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and defiled her.
He took her and he laid with her. Probably no power struggle at all. Probably very little, right? Took her, right? Or might have felt that way to him. Took her and laid with her, right? It says, and defiled her. Go ahead.
And the soul claved unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel and spake kindly unto the damsel.
Mm-hmm. So we're gonna get this. Salaki, I'm trying to find it.
I think it was on. I think we looked it up. I don't think it was on the Blue Letter.
Okay, go ahead. You might be right. If we can't find it, I'm just gonna go ahead and explain what was said. Right. The dishonor of Dinah. And what they have found to believe why Dinah was raped, or Dinah was taken. Dang it, graped. That's what I said. Graped with the G, right? Why she was taken. I know I had sent it to you, so I'm gonna try to go back into our files real quick. No, I think I sent it to you. I'm gonna go back into our files. Salakia, bear with me for a second. This wasn't part of the lesson. This was just right on the spirit. So kind of wanted to go ahead and jump into this. Boom. I got it. Okay, so you probably will read that. Check me out. And then just go. Oh, see. Right, and just go over. Okay.
Cool. This is Genesis 34, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Dinah, the daughter of Leah, went out from her father's house into the city, out of curiosity, there being then, as Josephus asserts, a great...
So this is off of Josephus. He's asserting why this happened to Dinah. They're trying to figure out why Dinah was taken like this, right? Go ahead.
A great concourse of people to a feast. It did not appear that she asked, much less obtained her father's consent in this.
Read that again.
It says, it does not appear that she asked, much less obtained her father's consent in this.
So she went to go look at the daughters of the land. It says that it appeared that she didn't ask her father. She didn't ask. She just went out. She didn't get no consent. She just went out without protection, right? And this is what happened. This is the result. This is what happened when she went out without protection, right? Go ahead.
But to gratify her foolish fancy, put herself out of his protection,
She put herself out of his protection. Go ahead.
and exposed both herself and others to temptation, and that among persons who had no fear of God to restrain them from the most enormous crimes. She went to see, yet there was not all, says Henry. Yet that was not all, says Henry. She went to be seen too.
She didn't just go to see, she went to be seen, which is like most of our women in America. They're out to be seen. They might say, I'm not trying to get no attention with these very short skirts and very short shorts on. I'm not out here trying to be, I'm not trying to get no attention from men. You lying. That's not true. That's you a lie. She went out there to be seen, just like a lot of our women, to be seen. Right? Go ahead.
She went to see, yet that was not all, says Henry. She went to be seen too. She went to see the daughters of the land, but maybe with some thoughts of the sons of the land too. It is supposed that she was now only 15 or 16 years of age.
All right.
This is the second one. It says 34, 1 through 19. Young persons, especially females, are never so safe and well off as under the care of pious parents.
Right. So they're supposed to always be under the authority of parents. I can't remember. Can you look that word up, pious?
Yeah.
We're going to find out because, brothers didn't go to college to get, but we know how to look up words. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just, come on.
Pious. It says religion, devout, devoted, dedicated.
Right.
It says
Go ahead.
sincere.
Right. So it says pious parents, right? What was the first one?
Religious.
Religious parents. Hey, there was one video I seen where he was praying on preying, praying on children and girls and women, and it was a documentary, and he told the people like what he looked for, and one of the things he looked for was families that didn't have a husband, families that didn't have a strong male presence, whether it be a husband or uncle or brothers, and or religious, right? Families that were religious. So those are the ones he stood away from. Those are the families that he stayed away from. Lord willing, I'll probably see if I can get away with playing it. Fair use act. I'll play that for y'all so that y'all can see it too. But you want to go ahead and finish that up?
It says, young persons, especially females, are never so safe and well off as under the care of pious parents. Their own ignorance and their flattery and artifices of designing wicked people who are ever laying snares for them expose them to great danger. They are their own enemies if they desire to go abroad, especially alone among strangers to true religion. Those parents are very wrong who do not hinder their children from needlessly exposing themselves to dangers. And those children, like Dinah, often become a grief and shame to their families. Her pretense was to see the daughters of the land, to see how they dressed and how they danced and what fashionable among them. She went to see, yet there was not all. That was not all. She went to be seen too.
So this is another account. She didn't just go look, but she also went to be seen too. And that's what caused her to be taken, right? Was there more?
She went to get acquaintance with the Canaanites and to learn their ways. See what came of Dinah's gating. The beginning of sin as the letting forth of water. How great a matter does a little fire kindled. We should carefully avoid all occasions of sin and approaches to it.
Right. So I don't want to take too much more time. I got more stuff that I want to get into, but I might wait for a different type of lesson because, Lord willing, I can get into this lesson that I got coming up. Lord willing, examining a demon. But it also goes into showing how our women act. Our women didn't act masculine. And we got a lot of masculine women around here in America. They knew how to be feminine and they knew how to act feminine. But I'll go ahead and get this one scripture, one precept, and then we can get to the comments and hit up those precepts. Let's get Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11 through 16. And we'll be done with this, and then we can just get to the comments.
This is Isaiah chapter 13,
Verse 11.
verse 11. Isaiah 13, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible.
Keep going.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold. Even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
Now it's just talking about every man. This is not talking about every man. This is talking about those men that are righteous, those men that are striving to be one and under the authority and in order of the Most High God and His Son, right? That takes all of His words into consideration and account. That's what this is talking about. That's who He's going to make more precious than the gold of Ophir. Go ahead.
It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of His fierce anger.
Come on.
And it shall be as the chased roe, as a sheep that no man hath taken up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land.
Go ahead.
Every one that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword.
This is the point.
It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, and their wives ravished.
And what?
And their wives ravished.
This is what we don't want to happen to our sisters, man. We know it's going to happen to majority of our people, but Lord willing, the spirit of the fear of the Lord comes upon you in this lesson and in other brothers' lessons, and y'all can get in order in righteousness. Y'all not going to get in order by your own hearts, by your own admission, through your own understanding, but you're going to get in order through the Most High God's order and His Son, right? He set a man over the congregation to put things in order. Follow His order. Follow His lead. Don't follow after your own heart and your own lust. Let's go ahead and get to the comments. I'm sure.
From Egypt to Israel, Jeremiah 51, verse 45. My people, go ye out of the midst of her, and deliver ye every man his soul from the fierce anger of the Lord.
God, that's a good one. That actually goes. That reminds me of Lamentations 4. It's like a nation that cannot save us, man. But God, beautiful, beautiful precept.
Shawab al-War, 1 Kings 2, chapter 2, verse 2 and 3. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and shew thyself a man, and keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in His ways and to keep His statutes.
Beautiful precept.
And
man.
Go ahead. And His commandments and His judgments.
I want to finish.
And His commandments and His judgments and His testimonies, as is written in the law of Moses, that you mayest prosper in all that thou doest, and whithersoever thou turnest thyself.
Hey, the water Yahweh for the Most High God giving us these laws, man, because we were lost. We didn't know how to be a man, but it's telling us how to be a man. We were still hating our brothers. We didn't know how to love one another. So He had to teach us the love of God. He had to teach us how to love. We was lost, man. We didn't know how to love the Most High God, and it's all in the laws of the Most High God. And you see it through the acts of the apostles, right, and His Son. So you see it. But Khan, good precept.
It says, I'm dressed for this for my girls. Right. Like, just one minute what they say. I'm dressed for my girls.
Oh, okay, Khan.
Like,
right. Hey, yeah, they do say that too. They be saying that. So you can't be tricked. You can't be fooled. You know better. Hey, we know better. We know what men like, and women know what men like too. But you know best. So keep your houses in order, man. Y'all do a good job. All praise to the Most High God for y'all brothers and sisters listening in. Lord willing, this was to help edify the sisters and uplift them in righteousness and get them back in order. And also, you brothers, that y'all can also pass the word. And hey, maybe you can do a lesson and add on to what I didn't bring out. Right. So with that, we're gonna give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High God, Yahweh, by Hashem, Hamashiach, Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.